I'll take it like a chance. I won't cry in my hands, but a wound never healed, so bleed.
I feel like Gibson guitars I've used a lot when I'm tracking guitars, if I'm in like production or I'm in the room recording, especially for this project, and also just a lot of the Gibson sound I feel like is very like clear. The guitar is like super crystal clear, and a lot of the guitars that I've used in the past are also not as crystal clear as that, and so this year our sound is just a little bit more clean and polished sounding, and I think the Gibson guitar fits really well into that. It's called Tightrope. We're trying to use like the symbolism of like a tightrope to correlate to the song in the way that like sometimes with a friendship or any kind of like best friend, you can perceive the relationship as very strong and like steady, when in reality like something can happen and it can shift the friendship very quickly, or you guys could go from being so close to not being friends at all the next day if it's, you know, a bad enough of a, you know, fight or whatever it is. And in my case it was just like someone I was really close to for a long time ended up not talking for a year and a half or some craziness like that. And it was really unexpected, and so that song's just kind of like what that experience felt like for me, and also just kind of, I guess, the fragileness of friendships and relationships, and yeah, tying that into walking a tightrope and not realizing that's what you were doing. We tried to make it almost feel like a 3-part song in terms of like the sonic world that we're building around it. So when you're listening to it, it's definitely like all the parts of the song, as in like the verse, chorus, and outro, definitely like make sense together, but they definitely also can kind of feel like you're like not sure what's coming next when you're listening. And that's something I've never done. I've never had like a tempo change at the end of a song before, which is something that we added into it recently. And I think overall, writing a very specific song about a friendship breakup is something I also haven't done. I think I've written a lot more of like breakup songs or heartbreak songs, or maybe even just had like a little hint of friendship breakup songs in there, but just nothing that was like as direct as this one. So I think that kind of makes it different as well. I grew up in Tampa, Florida. I was living there until I turned 18, and I moved to Nashville for music school and also to pursue music full time. My dad was a touring musician when I was really young. My grandma owned like a theater and acting company out of Georgia, so I was just like really surrounded by creative people on my dad's side of the family most of my life. And Florida doesn't really have like a music scene per se. It's very much like cover bands in Tampa. That's just kind of the whole vibe. Miami definitely has a little bit more of a scene, but I'm 5 hours from there, so I think I always kind of knew Nashville or LA was really where I was going to end up. And I did travel so much to Nashville as a kid because of my dad. So yeah, I moved here at 18, went to music school for 2 years, left at 2020 when COVID happened. My program basically just went all online, and it didn't really make sense to keep doing music at that school online. It just felt like it was waste of time. Is that something I'm allowed to say? A waste of time. And yeah, so I took that year and had them hold my music scholarship to see if I could kind of do something within a year that would justify not going back to school. And so yeah, I never ended up going back. I've been doing a solo project ever since 2019. But before that, I was in a duo with my sister for a few years. So I've really just been doing music my whole life, I feel like. But I would say now the last, I say 2021 is when I like kind of met my manager, and then we've been together really ever since I started my second project, which was The Way I See It is the name of it. That's kind of when we got on board with each other, and then since then it's just been like a steady slow growth with having like a full team now, still independent, but you know, just really excited for this project that's coming. It's my 5th EP or album. We're not really sure exactly what we're gonna package it as yet. But definitely excited to just like get more music out and kind of enter into my 25th year of life journey, which is kind of like been crazy to think about because I was like 19 when I started all of it on my own. I think I'm really big about wanting my music to create a community for people. I feel like every artist ultimately wants that, or at least should want that. But I'm really interested outside of music in like just brain things, like psychology, like kind of mental health world of just wanting to be like creating a community where people can feel safe and seen, but also understand themselves in a deeper way. I like to understand the why behind a lot of my motivations, actions, whatever that is. And so I feel like by learning a lot about myself and doing the whole psychology obsession, which I feel like can sometimes be crazy, but for right now, just what I've learned about myself as an adult has really helped shape the songs that I write and the type of lyrics that I'm able to come up with because of just having a language for myself in a deeper way. And I feel like being able to put to words maybe experiences that people are feeling and they may not know why or how, and just building that community is important to me. And just continuing to feel like you're growing and getting to do things that are exciting to you, which for me has always been tour and live show, stuff like that, where you can make real connections with people and see their face, because a lot of this job is behind the phone screen. I feel like I've had a good amount of different inspirations. I mean, when I was really young, it was young Taylor Swift. It was Kelly Clarkson and Shania Twain and the whole thing. But I feel like in the last few years, I've really been a fan of Gracie Abrams and the way her career has kind of gone. I've been listening to her for a really long time, and just the way that she kind of builds community too with her project is important, I feel to me. And I feel like she's my current inspiration, but there's been so many over the last however many years.
Took years of my life